I'm going to be repairing this plumbing today. Running a 2-inch line all the way up to here. This chlorinator here should not really be into copper. I've wrapped the gasket around there in order to make this work, but anyway, I'm going to be getting rid of that, and I'm going to be running the line and coming up to here. So I'm going to need to cut this right behind that copper line. There we go. Clean that all up and make that good for the leak loss fitting. Straighten it up a little bit. Up top here I've got this compression fitting that I'm just going to need to get rid of here. See, I put a garbage bag over my filter so I don't get the fiberglass all over me. There we go. Loosen this puppy up. I need to recover my chlorinator hose there. Just going to slip this off, which is going to be a little tricky. Okay, so just slipped it back and got my knife underneath here. Just slip this off now. There we go. And now I've recovered my compression fitting here. This will be useful for a rainy day. Now ready to take some measurements and get this puppy plumbed up how it should be. So I'm going to measure this. I'm going to be running a line to about 18. And up from there. About 23, 24, and over from there about 12. Setting up the leak lock fitting. It's got a little O-ring inside here. We'll make sure that's clean, and then we'll probably get it wet once we go to stick it on there. But first we're going to insert these so that this is this way here. That far there, and we'll slip it on to the stop when we're ready. Basically it's going to seat up against there. You can see this little fitting squeezes against the O-ring, compresses it down against there. So anyway, that's the leak lock fitting, so we'll set it there. Okay, so this is going to take two 90s, 190 down here, 190 up here, facing this way, and then straight coupling for here, and then our leak lock fitting to go on. So I'm going to probably start with the leak lock fitting, come over here, and the last fitting to go on will probably be our straight coupling, because that's most likely our easiest coupling to get on over here. Any number of ways you can do this from start to finish. So I chopped down my first piece. This is the piece that's going to have the leak lock fitting on one end. And it's a good idea to dry fit everything to make sure everything's going to line up the way you want it. So that may actually be a little longer to I want it. I think I'm gonna need to cut off like another inch. So next is gonna be fitting that. Next portion up, what I'll do is take the O-ring out while I'm dry fitting this, just to make it nice and simple and easy to make sure I'm getting everything the right measurements that we want. Just gonna basically tighten that on there for now, like so that we can line everything up here and down here. Okay, so now over here I'll have my straight fitting over here, and basically we need to measure from here up and from here over. So it's going to be roughly 26 inches. And over is going to be roughly 14 inches. So I'll start there with the 14. Measure over my 14 inches. Cut this puppy. Clean up the burrs for now. Clean up the pipe, and we'll be dry fitting it along with the 90 on this side. Dry fit it over here. Make sure everything lines up good there. That looks pretty good. These will be pressed on into place a little bit. And the last one is going to be dry fitting the steel here, so we'll measure here to here is going to be 24. We need to go from inside lip to inside lip, which is going to be 0.3. For the dry fit, I'm going to go 24 first. And if I need to trim it down, then I'll do it that way. Move this over to 24. Man, trim it down. Clean these edges all up. Both sides. And now we'll do the dry fit. It's going to go in like so, and this one like so. I think we need to come over another inch there. This should seat there a little bit better. So we're going to take another inch off of this side here so that it can come up more. And it may even be as much as 2 inches, so get that going. Okay, so that's fitting up good, but I think I should take another inch off of here. Again, lift this up a little more, make things a little bit straighter. So I'm going to separate this side and cut another inch off here. Okay, so there's the dry fit. Everything's hooked up perfectly. It's doing exactly what it should. I shouldn't have any problems linking it together. and getting this thing going. Okay, so now we're ready to glue and attach everything. Gonna take this apart in sections basically and do one section at a time, starting with the leak lock fitting and then ending with the straight coupling at the other end. So unscrew the leak lock fitting. So all of this we're going to purple prime and PVC glue together. I need gloves for that. Putting down the glue, it's a good idea. You know, purple primer and glue, some messy stuff. It's a good idea to put down something. I got a piece of a pizza box so I don't make a big old mess. Make it a lot easier to clean up. You want to wear gloves, and sometimes this purple primer will get kind of stuck, or the glue lid will get kind of stuck. This one's fine. You want to avoid getting the purple primer on your gloves, because what it does is it takes off a coating of plastic. It'll actually take off, it'll melt right through the gloves. I'm going to go ahead and get the full glue shaken up a little bit here, and then sometimes the lids get kind of glued on. Oh, this one's not bad. So sometimes you'll need a pair of channel locks to get in there. You want to make sure everything's good there, that it hasn't gotten all yucky. Anyway, what we're going to do is clean off each of the fittings here. We're going to use the purple primer inside here and here. Again, avoid getting on your gloves because they will eat right through the gloves. We've got our cardboard down to keep any stains away. So just wrap it around like so. Again, it'll take away the outer layer of the plastic and allow the glue to bond better. There's that side, and let that dry. And then we'll use our glue. I got the purple primer on my glove. You see it start to eat through the glove. It's really easy to do. Well, I have two pairs of gloves on, and if you get glue and junk on it, you peel one pair of gloves off. I'm going to go ahead and prep the next side of this purple primer. Squeeze the excess out of the little cap brush here. That side. Clean up this side here. Already pretty much dried on the first side. Okay, now for our glue, we're going to want to coat both sides. And you don't want to put this on too thick, just kind of thick enough. You don't want a big old bead in there. It'll make a not as strong of a coating, but you do want to coat both surfaces all the way. And you want to be fairly quick about it. You've got "90 seconds or so to push these together. Push them together and twist. and we'll wipe off the excess glue. Okay. So that side. Now for the other side, it's pretty much the same thing. Flip you over here. It's kind of cramped quarters to work in, but it's what I got. It is what it is. Cardboard here. Give it a little quarter turn. And again, we're going to just wipe off the excess. And we'll let that dry. 10-15 minutes just to seat up. Actually, I can continue on with this part here. So we just kind of avoid moving it around. Oh, stretch my legs for a minute. Okay. Put you back down here. Again, purple prime. And we're going to come back later and then spray paint all this. It's not a good idea to have PVC not spray painted. When you paint it, it adds the sunblock to it. Without that, the sun will kind of eat at it. Let me show you this. Here's some PVC that hasn't been painted. So while I'm here, I'll probably come through and paint all this also. Make it look a lot better, as well as add some sunblock coating to the PVC, because the sun will eventually eat through there, weaken the material. Alright, little sip of coffee. And back to work. Okay, here goes the PVC purple primer. Kind of drip some down in there, and I don't want that to stay there, so I'm going to go ahead and pour that out on the cardboard here. I don't want it to eat at our glue that we just put down on the other side. Probably a lot of plumbers got more tricks for this stuff than I do. I'm a maintenance guy, not a plumber, so if you want to share some of those tricks and tips in the comments below, that'd be great. I'm sure there's some things that can be improved on. But this is the basics. Okay, so I got my purple primer going. We'll let that dry. You can see how the purple primer dripped in there. I didn't like that too much. Dump that out quick. Also, perhaps I could have pushed that particular pipe in a little bit more to make it seat right up against the edge, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I've definitely seen worse. Seen better too. Okay. looking at the directions here. Let's see how long it says to wait before. And it doesn't tell you. So I guess it's up to you to use your judgment about how long to wait before. But it dries pretty fast. So we're dry there. Ready for some glue. Again, coating both sides. And avoid pulling the glue. Too much glue drips down in there, that's not good. We want really just the glue to be on our mating surfaces. We don't want it to go into our spa or our pool. So fit these together and then squeeze and turn about a quarter turn. There we go. And then clean up our glue up here. So we've got a nice, beautiful union there. And we're all glued together on that part. We can let those parts dry, or we can continue on. I'll be dry fitting up the next section. And I'm taking a look at exactly how the pipe needs to line up. You can mark both sides with a Sharpie or a pen when it is lined up. This one's got a second knife that's going to go on it. I'll show you that here. The 90 is going to come over like so. So I'm just going to line up two lines. Can go on the back and the front, just giving us an idea of where this needs to line up. So I just marked it so that we can line these up when we glue this up, make it a little easier. Okay, so taking it back over here. Okay. And I probably should have noted which one goes towards the back, so this one seems to have like a little A on it, so that's going to be the back one. And so I'll add a little indicator so that these can both line up there, and that'll indicate how they line up. Pretty straightforward. So to make it easy, I can glue this piece up first, and then we'll finish with that piece. Do that part last, and that'll give this a chance to dry. And we can glue all these up. This side doesn't matter so much where the position is, because we can just rotate it, so these parts are going to be pretty easy. Whoops. That's why my pizza box is coming in handy. Keep everything nice and neat. And I'll let that dry for a second. Still a tiny bit right there. And I'll be ready for the glue. And I can go ahead and purple prime this other side of this, but that's going to be the last one we're going to glue, so I'm not going to glue it yet. Just going to purple prime it, get it ready. And I can go ahead and purple prime inside here too. The other side. And for this one, purple prime this side too. I'm just going to make sure not to hit my marks. Mark that. Squeeze this out real good. Now the only thing left to purple prime is our deal up here. So I'm going to go ahead and prime that. Okay. And we're done with the purple priming. Purple priming. Go ahead and squeezing the cap on. Okay. Now ready to glue away. So, starting here. We're just not gonna. It looks like I missed a little with the purple primer inside here, so. See the purple primer's eating through the glove because it's plastic. And we don't want to pull this stuff off. We just want a nice even coating. Squeeze it together, rotate a quarter turn. And wipe off the excess. Okay. Now the last part is going to be our tricky part in that we need to line up the plumbing properly. So, not too bad, but just going to line these up here, like so. And I'm not sure you can see too well, but I've got the two lines of almost like an A that will line up right there. Maybe I'll show you from this way. See our two lines there, so get our glue going here. And this is the one sensitive part where everything's got to be just right. So we're going to start it here, and that way our rotate will be rotating this right back to where we need it. and press it in and hold. And then we're going to wipe off our excess. Now we'll let that dry, and then we'll be ready for putting the leak lock fitting together and the last union. Okay, so for our union, what we're going to want to do is prep up the copper a little bit to better mate with the O-ring and not have any leaks. We're going to go ahead and slip these pieces off that we tested earlier and just kind of line them up in a row so it'll make it easier to put them back on. And what we're going to want to do is sand down the end of that copper. What I have is some aluminum oxide sandpaper. It's a waterproof sandpaper. And just to make this better and make everything mate better, we're just going to sand this up a little bit. Make it nice and clean and nice and pretty. There we go. Nice, beautiful copper. We're going to reinsert our piece here. And this is going to press the little piece as well as the O-ring and squeeze the O-ring down. Get the smoothest area possible up against the O-ring. There we go. And with the O-ring, what we're going to do is lube the O-ring with some silicone lube here. This little pack of special silicone O-ring lubricant, specifically designed for this. Well, and for chlorinator hoses, but anyway, I'll just lube the seal here. Insert our O-ring, and we'll rotate this around, get some lube on that, so everything's nice and lubed up here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this level of glove so I don't get the lube all over my tools. I don't like that stuff. That stuff's pretty gnarly to wash off. It doesn't come off. I like it for what it's intended for, but I don't like to get it on the tools or on the hands. So. Anyway, we're ready now for setting up the leak lock fitting. I'll try to get you a little closer view. Maybe this will work here. I think that'll work. There we go. So we're going to be putting our big old union that we made up here and set that into place, and then rotate our leak lock fitting on. So here's our jumble of plumbing that we've made, and we're going to insert this on like so, and that's going to seat into the fitting. Just like so. And this will give us a degree of freedom on the other side. For positioning our final bit of PVC. I'll show you up here. And we need that little bit of freedom to get this to line up properly and insert all the way when we do it. So I need to separate it now though. It really wanted to go home. And I really wanted to stay home too. Unfortunately, that's not what we wanted there. There we go. Okay. So it's pretty much going to give us like one shot to get that right. Once we put our glue in and set it in, it's gonna be a done deal. So we've got one chance to get that in there and going. Gonna need to do it quickly, but it's gonna work out all right. So here goes our glue for that spot. I'm gonna set my rag down below, so if anything drips, hopefully it drips right on the rag. Here's our glue on the outside. And there's our glue on the inside. And we're going to press it into place and hold it. And I'm going to wipe off the excess glue. Make it pretty. And the last thing we'll have to do is to tighten up our leak lock fitting down below. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Now the leak lock fitting down below. Just simply gonna hand tighten it. And then we're going to follow that up with a little bit of channel locks. Little bit of channel lock. Giant channel locks. We won't go too crazy with it yet. Just crazy enough. Just to squeeze the O-ring a little bit. There we go. We'll let that all dry up proper. Give it a couple hours after lunch. Turn everything on and test it out. The only thing we have left is to hook up our chlorinator feeder, which we'll do into the PVC right here, which is how it should be. It should actually be into the PVC. Okay, so hooking up the chlorinator hose here. What we need to do is drill a 3/8 inch hole in order to hook up the chlorinator. I'm going to be replacing the little O-ring that goes on here with the new one, but I can reuse the old one of these parts. It's not a problem. We're going to be installing this into the PVC section of the line, and I'm going to start with drilling a little pilot hole first, and then I'll do the 3/8 inch hole. That'll just make it go a little easier, a little more right where I want it. There's the pilot hole. And just change out my bit here to the giant 3/8 inch bit here. Some nice chuckless drill here. Get this set up. It's nice and straight. Set on drill. Okay. And then I'll drill the 3/8 inch hole here. Nice and simple. And we'll get rid of all the burrs here. Just clean that up. Okay. Now I'm going to use a brand new O-ring. And what we're going to do is coat it real good with the silicone lube on both sides. Here's the new O-ring. Forgot to bring a new pair of gloves. Let me see if I got an old pair here. I don't like getting this junk on my hands. It's kind of gnarly stuff. Glove on here. Kind of tricky because I just used it. kind of falling apart, but it'll be enough for me to get this done here. Okay, so I'm going to put a little lube around the top of the hole here. Not inside the hole, just around the top there. And then also a little lube on the other side of this. Again, not inside the hole, just up there. We're going to insert our gasket here. Put a little more lube around the other side of the gasket. And this is a special silicone O-ring lube. And now we're ready to insert that into our hole. And then this pipe has the clamp has a quick release setup. So there we go. And now we'll just tighten down the quick release setup. I'm going to get rid of my glove because it's got the silicone all over it. And my 6-in-1 will work good for tightening the clamp down. I'm just going to kind of position the clamp and simply tighten it down. And that'll press it into place. And we're ready to run the machine once the silicone, once the PVC glue all dries up properly. I'm still going to wait about 2 hours. So at least our chlorinator hose is all installed there and ready to go. Okay, moment of testing here. I'm going to go ahead and fire everything up. I gave it about 4 hours, a little bit longer. Had some other things come up, so we'll go ahead and turn this on and see how we fare here. I'm going to leave the bag on just in case I still need to get in there. Pump will prime on its own. Sometimes if the pump won't prime right away, what you got to do is turn it off real quick and then turn it back on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Turn it back off for a second and we'll see if it pulls water. And you can see it bubbling up, so it's pulling water. So it's just enough to drag the water over into the pump. And now I'll go ahead and fire it up here again. And now it should prime and pull the water through. Watch all the individual joints here, as well as the new chlorinator hose there. Oop, chlorinator hose is leaking, so I'm just going to need to trim off that edge and reinsert that. That's not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and let it prime first, and then I'll come back to that, get that going. I just want to see all the other plumbing repair here. It's definitely moving around a bit. Everything else is holding good. There's our leak lock fitting. That's holding good. Definitely got a hole in the chlorinator hose just above the port where it goes in. So I'm going to turn this off. We'll repair that real quick. There we go. Now I'm glad I didn't take my bag off yet, so I don't have to get fiberglass all over me. Because that is definitely no fun. That fiberglass, you go home itching. And it takes a long time to get all the fiberglass out. For this, we're just going to loosen it up here and pull it off, and we'll just cut this off so we got a nice fresh edge here. So I've actually got a utility knife here. Got a utility knife. Both sides there with my Leatherman. Plug the puppy in. Nice new connection there. go. No more chlorinator leak. No more leaks at the chlorinator. No leaks, everything's holding good here. Here's our flow meter right here, showing our flow at about 60 gallons. Looks like about 60 GPM, gallons per minute, something like that. That's good. All right. No leaks at the leak lock, no leaks at any of our plumbing. So now, to follow this up, what'll be good is to come back through and paint all this and go ahead and get rid of my bag here. And I'm just happy to not have that darn fiberglass all over me, irritating me. So we're good to go there. Replumb the unit so that we have no more leaks. Good to go.